contracts, disclosures, addendums. I need an assistant. Where do I begin? Hello, I'm Kevin Howard. If you've ever felt like that, it might be time for you to hire an assistant to help you with your business. Another indicator it might be time for you to hire an assistant is you're spending your time doing non-revenue generating activities. Let's talk about how you can go about finding an assistant and what some of the associated costs are with that. Let's dive in. There are several different ways that you can go about hiring an assistant for your real estate business. First thing you need to figure out is, do you want the person to be in person in your office, or is the assistant working virtually suitable for you? And if the person is going to work virtually, do you want somebody in the States or do you want somebody offshore? So there's lots of different options for you as you go down this path of hiring an assistant. Let's talk about the first one, which is having an assistant in person in your office on a daily basis. You can anticipate, again, depending on your market, but you can anticipate spending at least $15, if not $20 an hour for that type of an arrangement. There are some pros and cons to that. The pros are they're there in person. So if you need other things taken care of, for example, go pick up a sign from a listing that closed, you could potentially have them do that. It opens up the door for additional tasks is the takeaway from that. If you're hiring somebody in the States, you're still going to be looking at least 15, most likely at least $20 per hour. You lose the flexibility of, go by the title company, pick up that check for me, that type of thing. They can't run those errands. All your meetings now become virtual on Zoom or whatever your preferred platform is. Still a very effective way to do it. Thirdly is going offshore. It's popular for people to hire VAs in the Philippines, for example, or Mexico. And there's several ways to go about that. The difference is you're going to pay a lot less. Okay. So instead of, $20 an hour, depending on how you approach that hire, it can cost you as little as $4 or $5 an hour or $10 or $12 an hour. And I'll talk about the difference there in just a moment. There's several websites you can go to if you want to hire these people directly. Of course, you've got Fiverr, you've got onlinejobs.ph, you've got Hubstaff Talent. There's lots of different resources if you want to do the direct hires for offshore. The advantage to doing a direct hire offshore is you'll pay less. That's your most cost-effective method as far as actual expenses. And we don't want those numbers to get skewed, and I'll explain why in a moment. Again, anywhere from $4, $5, $6 an hour, something along those lines. Or you can hire a staffing company that will provide that virtual assistant employee for you, in which case you can expect to pay on average around $10 or $11 per hour. Now, the difference between hiring the staffing company and hiring the employee directly, there's pros and cons to both. With the staffing company, you'll call the staffing company and say, I need an assistant, and the next day there's somebody there working for you. Okay, they take care of the hiring, the recruiting, the training, and everything that goes along with it. If that person decides not to show up, which often happens with offshore employees, they just decide to ghost you one day, you call the company and there's somebody else in that seat. You're not thrown into, taking care of those tasks yourself until you make another hire. So that's the nicety, if you will, with the staffing companies. Again, you're going to pay a little bit more than if you hire them directly. And if you hire them directly, you're going to pay roughly half the cost. However, now all of a sudden, running the ads, doing the recruiting, the interviewing, the training, all that falls on you. So you're looking at, 2 to 4 weeks to actually get that assistant in place and up to speed. Then if that assistant decides, I'm not going to work anymore, you have to start the process all over again. And while you're going through that 2 to 4 weeks, guess who the assistant is? You, right? There's the golden rule. If you don't have an assistant, you are one. That definitely applies in this scenario. So that's just some of the things to keep in mind there. So in hiring an assistant, we have a few different options. Hire somebody in person in our own hometown that comes into our office daily, hiring somebody here in the States that works remotely, or our overseas options, whether it's Philippines, Mexico, wherever. Jamaica, I've had good success with several different countries, quite frankly. Costa Rica, but you just have to figure out what your appetite is and how much time you have to invest in this. And along with that, it comes with systems, right? So you want to make sure you have good systems in place so that they can migrate into your business, pretty effectively and get up to running quickly. So that's about it for now. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found something valuable. Head on over to Facebook and join our Agent Growth Collective Facebook group. And meanwhile, if there's anything we can do to help you sell more real estate, please let us know. Have a great day.